morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. If this is your first time finding my channel, this is my big black cat Bagheera, or Baggy is really what I usually call him, or Baggy Pants, or Monster. And I talk about him a lot because he is my sweet kitty boy. But if it is your first time finding my channel, then I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. You guys know the drill by now, right? You know that any video people are going to say hit like and subscribe. And in addition, I do have a super thanks button down below, which is a way that you can give a monetary tip. It's not fun to get on here and ask for money, but realistically, you know, it does actually cost money to make a YouTube video. And that just helps a little bit defray some of the expenses that are involved in the planning and executing and mailing and Zoom subscription costs of trying to run a channel for the community, for my community. Sorry, I'm adjusting the camera just a little bit there. If you are not one of my, if you're not a first-time subscriber, if you are a friend who comes back every week, thank you so much for coming by. You guys do mean the world to me. Hopefully you know that by now, hopefully. So I did finally schedule my next Zoom. I'm sorry, July was kind of a wash for me. I'll talk about that in a minute. It has been a month for me, a week for me, that it's hard to even describe. But I did schedule a Zoom for, I think it's 2 weeks from now. It's for August 12th, Sunday, August 12th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I did kind of specifically choose the 12th because it is the closest weekend to my birthday. My birthday is the 15th, so my birthday will be Wednesday. This will be the Sunday before, so it'll be nice to have sort of, you know, that, I guess I get 2 birthday weekends because it's right smack in the middle of the week, but it'll be nice to have, you know, spend some time with friends during my birthday week. My stitchy friends, because you guys do really mean a lot to me. So anyway, so all of the information, the login and all that kind of stuff is in the description box below. And if you can join me, I would love to see you there. So as I said, this has been, I have to say, a weird week for me. I'm going to give in now talking to you guys. I always am when I get on to my videos. It just kind of like whatever other stuff has been going on in my head, it just makes me feel good to get on and talk to you guys and kind of anticipate all of the feedback and stuff. It's just a really positive part of my week. But this has been a very weird week for me. For those of you that watch me regularly, you know at the beginning, almost half of the week, actually, it was in, I think I got sick on the 1st or the 2nd, no, the 2nd of July. I started feeling sick with what turned out to be COVID. I was home until the 12th of July and went back to work sort of part days. I mean, I would leave work at 3, so I was still working like 6 or 7 hours, but I did that for a week and then I went back, you know, regular schedule. But right when I got sick is when the temperatures in my part of California really started going up into the 90s every day. And I do live in a 2nd floor apartment without, you know, I don't have central air. I have a wall air conditioner, which is good most of the time. It doesn't really help that much when the temperatures get up in the 90s. I mean, it helps. It just doesn't, you know, my apartment isn't cool. It is just cooler. You know, so I was having a temperature and everything and recovering from that right when the temps got really high. Again, I'm on a 2nd floor, which makes the apartment hotter. I have huge windows that face the west. So afternoon sun just pours through those windows, even though, you know, I have blinds and everything, but it heats up my apartment. And so I've been dealing with the heat and sort of residual fatigue from being sick, and just all the mental whatever that goes along with that. And I just have been in a weird headspace, you know. I try and be kind of an open book on my channel. I don't know if that's even the right term. I don't want to like sugarcoat. I want to be like, I am 100% happy all the time. I'm not. I think that there is such a thing as toxic positivity, and I don't want to project that. So when I'm feeling kind of weird or having a weird week or whatever, I want to kind of let you guys know, because it's okay. You know, it's okay to not always be 100% okay. And I'm not 100% not okay. I'm just kind of, like I said, I just have been in a weird mood. Lots of things. And part of it is I just don't feel that great right now. And it's not, I'm not really sick. The weather is just really taking it out of me. And on top of recovering, and I know, like, I was lucky and I did get Paxlovid, which I know does kind of help with the lingering effects of COVID. But I know, like, there are people who have COVID who have felt crappy for months, maybe even years after. So, I mean, I'm 2 weeks kind of out of being sick, 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, kind of still not feeling 100% is normal and okay. It makes me feel, on top of not feeling great, it makes me feel kind of blue that I don't feel good and that I don't have a lot of energy. And when there's messes around me and I don't have the energy to clean up and move my apartment forward, it's hard. And I got to tell you, my apartment is just not where I want it to be. I'm not a great housekeeper to start with, but I will say the last actual couple of years, when the pandemic hit and I didn't get to see my mom, and then my mom passed away, it kind of did a little number on me mentally, and I just didn't keep up with things the way that I should have been able to. I have a tiny little space. I should be able to keep it sparkling, and it's just not. It's just messy, and stuff needs to be organized, and stuff needs to be thrown out, and stuff, you know. And I also, the crafting is not good for that, because I accumulate a lot of stuff, and I don't want to necessarily throw stuff out because I can use it and I have ideas of projects, but I don't have a lot of room. And so it's just this whole balancing act, I feel like. And let me know what you guys do as far, I mean, now if you have a lot of, like, if you have a whole crafting room, that's great. My feeling is that when I organize myself to death, then I can't get at anything. So I could organize and just put everything in, it looks really neat, and then I can't do anything because I can't get at anything. So then when I start pulling stuff out to use it to do projects, then it's just crazy messy. And so again, it's that balancing act that is hard. And when I'm in a weird mental headspace, it just gets harder. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Mostly I'm good. I'm just not 100%. Does that make sense? I think you guys, a lot of you, from at least what you've said, you can empathize. You can understand what I'm going through, because you go through it too sometimes. Why is my hair driving me crazy today? So anyway, that's where I am. It's not horrible. It's just, I felt weird. And part of it is because it's too hot and I don't feel great. So it is what it is. I still actually managed to get in a lot of crafting this week, even being in a weird headspace. I had a Zoom with a group of friends just this past Friday. We started Zooming when the pandemic hit, and it's funny because it's not people that we can necessarily get together with anyway, because they're spread all over the country now. But the pandemic kind of introduced us all to Zooming, and to the fact that we could kind of have online meetups with our friends, and that would work. And so we started it then, and we were doing it every Friday night for, I would say, almost 6 months. But it fell off. You know how it is when trying to get a group of people together, and we hadn't met in quite a while. And I just, on Monday, I got a bug in my ear like, hey, let's schedule one for Friday. And I sent out a group text and everybody said they were going to come. So I was like, okay, there's 8 people. I don't know. I'm doubtful, because last time I did this, it was just me and my friend Tracy. After everybody's like, yeah. And then it was just me and Tracy. But actually I would say 6.5 people tried to get on. One person who's a roommate of another person who was on was trying to get on, and I think that her computer system wasn't working. But we ended up having 6 people on the Zoom, so that was really nice. It was nice to see everybody. I got to see Stacy in person, which I haven't seen them really since they moved. I mean, I've talked to them on the phone, of course, but so that was really cool, and it was really nice. And while I was on the phone, or not on the phone, on the Zoom, I worked on my little golden books and did 2 more books, got the spines done. I'm not going to show you now because I showed you kind of what the spines look like. So as soon as I get I think I have 4 more to do. When I get those finished, then it's on to the next step, which is exciting, and I will share that with you guys. But I am working on them a little bit. So for those of you who are waiting for your gift books, or those of you who might be waiting to see what's coming out, you know, if there's anything that maybe you want or you want to purchase or whatever, they are getting worked on. So that's good. Okay. So let's see what else. Oh, all right. So one of the things I did this week, actually I did it yesterday, and it took several hours, but I'm counting it as craft time because it was something that had to be done. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a project that I think it was this year. I decided to make it a UFO, not really make it a UFO, make a UFO the project that I started and put it back into like a kitted up place. It was Bianca Bella by Mirabilia. I love that pattern, and I love the fabric that I chose to put it on. But as I was stitching on it, I just felt like it was the wrong choice. It was too close in color. The Bianca Bella is like turquoises and purples. I thought it would look really good on the purple, but a lot of it just blended in too much, and the turquoises and whites weren't popping enough. And every time I stitched on it, I was getting just that feeling like I had made a wrong choice. So I decided to go ahead and, put it back in kitted. I mean, it's kitted up fully, and just wait for another time to start it again. So this is the fabric, and I think this is the prettiest. I mean, I love this fabric. This is a hand dyed by Rolando, so that's should be shocking to nobody who has watched my channel for any length of time. You would know that I love hand dyed by Rolando fabric. And I had a section done about that big, and this is a 32 count, so that means the stitches are fairly small, and I frogged it. And I don't know, can you see? You can kind of see, well, I don't know if you even be able to see on camera, the area where the stitches were, but they came out really nice. It's a little fuzzy here, I think, so I was really, concerned, because frogging a big section like that, the big fear is that you're going to cut a hole in your fabric if you're not careful. So I was very careful. It took, as I said, a long time. And how I did it, the tools I used, in case you guys are interested, is I used a seam ripper and a curved tweezers. So I would just carefully rip each stitch's threads, like the top leg, and I do a little section, and then I take the tweezers and kind of pluck, and and kind of unstitch that way, and ended up getting it all out, and now the fabric is ready to be used again for something else, and when I'm ready to do that kit again, I have it. So it was not like a because moving backwards instead of moving forwards on a project, but I got it to a good place, and I'm glad I got that done. Okay, let's see, what else did I do this week? I did not have any crochet. I don't have any crochet to show you. I don't know if it's the heat is making me not feel like working on crochet. I don't know what it is. It's not like when I'm crocheting, especially if I'm crocheting amigurumi, it's not like I have, blanket on me. I don't know. I haven't, it's a headspace thing again. So, I really like crochet. I love doing the amigurumi. So it's not like I have abandoned it or anything like that. But I just haven't done it this week. So we'll see. I'm being very SWYWWY, and doing what I want when I want. And, I'll show you guys when I do stuff. I have something coming from Amazon. I had, some Amazon like free points. So, I'm really trying not to spend any money. However, I had those free points and something caught my eye. I don't know if I was watching Instagram. I don't know what it is, but I had decided to try something. And I'm going to try and make some felted, catnip filled toys for Baggy, because he likes his toys. He's not a huge player with toys. Like, I'll throw him a toy and he plays with it for, a minute or two and then usually lays on it. But he does like catnip filled things, and I have a bunch of these felting materials because I did get it to try out, and so I think I'm gonna try it. And I saw a tutorial. It looks pretty easy, especially doing it in like a metal cookie tin. So I have some shapes. I have a star shape and a heart and a round and a flower, I think, is the shapes that I have in cookie tin, cookie cutter. And so I have some catnip coming, and we'll see if I can do that. And if I have a couple, I'll show them to you next week. Okay. Sorry, my head. I'm tired. See, I mean, it's like, what is it? It's 10 in the morning, and I'm tired. I haven't done anything yet, and I'm just worn out already. So last Sunday, I went out to lunch with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, and it was so nice to get together with her. We just, there's nothing like hanging out with somebody when you're a mental space. And as far as crafting, we are. So that's great. And so we met for lunch, and I introduced her to the kitchen sink cookies from Panera, which I don't know if she's happy with me about that, because they are so yummy, and now she's obsessed. And we talked for like 4 hours, something like that. It was like great. And we actually stitched a little bit, which is crazy because this is the first time we've gotten together where we actually tried to stitch. I mean, I maybe put in like 20 stitches, but still, it was stitching. So that was really fun. So before I show you my whips, because I actually have a lot of new starts in here. So I realize it's still July. It's July 30th. But I've noticed, like, when we get to kind of like the halfway part of a month, and I'm starting to think about what I'm going to do for the next month and pulling, the projects and stuff like that, I get excited about doing it, and I always end up seeming to want to start the stuff for the next month and the last bit of the current month, which I guess is okay, because if I do that every month, I'm just, ending up starting stuff, everything's still getting a month, right? So, but I was looking at my themes, and what I decided, I did kind of make a change to the idea of my themes for August. And I mean, it's important because I'm going to keep these themes next year too, which I actually am really excited about, to kind of go and revisit the theme from this year, next year, and see, pull the same projects, see if any of the projects that were on the list for this year are completed. I think it's sparking creativity in me, I guess. So anyway, my original theme for August, when I was getting towards the end of the year, I was getting a little stuck for the themes, right? And I chose like festivals or something, because my birthday's in August, so I was thinking I could stitch, my birthday stuff, and then maybe Halloween was really the only thing I was thinking of, and maybe starting projects for like a Hanukkah project or something like that. But I was kind of like about it. But what I came up with instead, and I thought August would be a great place to plug it in, because I am doing, 2 projects that are kind of continuations, right? Because I'm doing a Black Cat birthday style every August, which I have a couple most of my Black Cat birthday sales I've finished fairly quickly. I have one Night Walk Down, which I kind of finished the Black Cat part of it, and now it's in sort of my inactive whips because I just don't know if I really want to finish that project. But in any case, most of my Black Cat birthday sales, because this is, let's see, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, this is the 5th year. I've done small enough projects that I could get them finished right away. And I always do a lion, which I've chosen small-ish lions every time, and I've been able to finish those because I'm a Leo. So I thought, because I am doing sort of continuation projects, that August would be a great month for, I'm calling it fun follow-ups. So basically, I'm picking charts that are a continuation or like the next thing in a series. Not necessarily a formal series, but you'll see, you know what I'm talking about. There is one project that I wanted to do to start that I can't find. It's my, I did a fairy in a moon. I think I finished it last year. Pretty sure I finished it last year, and it was like a fairy in a swing on a moon. It was like a smallish thing. It was all black silk, but I did it on like 22 count Hardinger, I think. So it was really tiny. And I have another pattern that's the moon's going the opposite way, and there's a fairy, I think, with a star in her hand. And I wanted to do that fairy because I want to hang them together. I think they'll be really cute. I can't find it. I kept the one that was completed in the bag with the other piece of fabric because it was a piece of fabric that I dyed, and I just cut it in half, and it would fit both of the patterns, and all of the patterns were in there, and I can't find the project bag that was in. So I'm sure it's around here somewhere. I just, you know, it's probably tucked away, and I'll come across it at some point, but I can't find that one. But, so I have 3 new starts this week. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna show you the whips first, and then, you know, save the new starts. Okay. So the whips that I worked on, because I was getting together with Julie, I decided to work on Prickly Owl, which we started together, which is a little dimensions kit. And this chart is especially nice for me because it's like a double friends thing because I'm doing it with Julie, and I got the chart from Dawn Frisch, who was the first like person that I met through, you know, doing FlossTube. I met her in Arizona in like September of 2019 after I started my channel in June, and I was going to Arizona, and she contacted me. She's like, I live where you're going, you want to meet up? And then she gave me that pattern as like a memory of me being in Arizona. So it's like a double friends thing, and I like that. So anyway, I worked on the owl on Sunday when I was with Julie. And as you can see, I didn't do very much. I just did a little bit in here, but you know, even holding a needle with floss in it when you're sitting there talking so much is quite an accomplishment, I think. So that is Prickly Owl. Here's my dragon. He's still waiting for his wings. He's still waiting for his wings. Okay. Ella. Ella the Frog Princess by Mirabilia. One thing I noticed when I was watching back my video last week on certain projects, and I don't know if it was because I was watching it on my TV, if it was my TV that was doing it, but some of my projects seemed like there were, like the fabric had a really yellow cast to it, or certain parts of it did. And I can't see it when I'm filming, so it's like I'm not noticing anything wrong when I'm filming, but yeah, I don't know, maybe it's my TV that was making that yellow, but if it looks really super yellowy, it may not be true to color. Okay, so I worked on her arm and started Mr. Frog right here. So that is what I did. And of course, when you're doing the 1/1, you know, it never seems like you did that much, even though it took a really long time. But I have a little dot on my screen. Okay. It was bugging me, and then I was like, is it gonna show up on, it probably wouldn't show up on the camera, but it was bothering me. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so I worked on her arm and her hand a little bit and started in on the froggy. Oh, also last week, just FYI, I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, you know, your video took so long. Well, it did. It took forever to upload last week. I had to leave here at like 1:30 to go meet Julie. And, you know, I even mentioned in the video that I had gotten done with my video really early last week, you know, hopefully on purpose, because I was hoping to get everything done and uploaded. I was at 63% when I left at 1:30. Of course, while I was gone out of my apartment and internet, it didn't upload anymore. So I got home around 7 and started the upload again from 63%, and it took until 9 o'clock, I think, to finish uploading. So that's why it was so late last week. It just, you know, unless I put something in the community post part that says I'm sick, I have done a video and I'm uploading it. And if it gets to be late, it's just that YouTube is taking forever to upload. You can pretty much count on that. Barring, of course, some weird, you know, horrible thing happening to me, in which case I wouldn't answer you anyway. Okay, I worked on Black Pearl by The Primitive Hair. I'm hoping actually to get her done this year. And you know, Enchantress of the Abyss is like the mermaid that was going to stick around for several years, but the July mermaids that I pick, I'm trying to pick smaller ones so that they can get done. And I'm going to really try and get her done this year. So I've changed all the colors. I'm doing her in silk. But I really like her. I haven't really started in the tail yet, so there's the whole other color, you know, that's gonna come in, but she definitely will be a focus to finish at the end of the year if I don't work on her in the next month or so. So for those of you that are new, my methodology the last couple years, which is kind of now more refined since I'm doing the monthly themes, my theme for November and December, is a push to a finish. So I try not to start anything new and to basically go back through all of my projects from, you know, that I have and see what do I think that could get finished with a little, you know, concentration. And it worked really well. Last year I was able to finish a bunch of stuff in November and December. And so that's kind of my intention this year too. You know, last year I had a couple ambitious projects that didn't get done, and I'm sure that will happen again this year. But I did get a lot done. And so as I'm working on things, I've got things earmarked that I think that I can get this done this year, and, you know, really focus and get all those finishes. Because although I'm not, I would say I say this all the time, I think I'm like 60 or 70% process and 30 or 40% project. So, and what that means for me is that I only do projects that I like, that I feel like I have a place for them in my home, in my life. Like, and I want to get them done. you know, so I'm not one of these people that can put 10 stitches in and then not, you know, look at it for 3 years, and I feel okay with that. I don't. I want to work on it. I want to get it done. I want to work on it, you know, somewhat steadily. But I've noticed, like, when I do get things finished, then they can sit in a you know, in a completed bag for 2, 3, 4 years, and it doesn't bother me that I don't actually get them fully finished. So so I am that combination, but I do like having the finishes, and it does give me a sense of accomplishment to get things finished. And I don't feel comfortable starting a ton of stuff if I'm not getting finishes too. So I'm trying to balance it all. Okay. Oh, and then the last thing that I worked on that you guys have already seen is my Enchantress of the Abyss. And I do think that I'm going to put her away now that we're going into August, because I have other projects that are going to come out instead. And she'll come out again next summer. Although it is still summer, so maybe I should keep her out in case I just feel like it. I worked on her last night, actually, and basically worked on her skin, on her arms. I just think she's so pretty. So pretty. My stomach clock just went off, and I ate a yogurt for breakfast. I shouldn't be all that hungry right now, but whew. Okay. Now the new starts, and I have one planned new start that I didn't actually start yet. So let me show you that one first. So one of the things that I wanted to continue is I want to do my next Bewitching Pixie on the fabric, you know, the interesting fabric. And the one that I am going to do this time is I'm going to do Zinnia. But I'm taking off this little arch thing because the fabric that I'm putting her on is this. So I marked it out, and she is going to, so her toe will be right here about, and then she'll go to about that high. The main body of her dress will be like that, but then the like side floofy stuff will go over to here. And then the other thing that I'm going to do with this is that this is Minerva, and I have a specific fabric picked out for her, and with that fabric this arch thing and the moon and the owl won't work. But I'm going to take this owl off of this pattern because he's just, you know, he's not that big and he's just black stitches. And I'm going to put the owl right up here. So, obviously haven't started that yet. Maybe I'll start that today. But that is my follow-up to Eva Across the Moon, and oh my god, what's her name? Now I don't know. I said it for a year and now I don't know. But anyway, so she will be up there with my Bewitching Pixies. Okay, but then the ones that I actually did start this week, I am doing the line that I chose to do for this year is this here, which is out of Donna Cooler's 555 Fabulous Cross Stitch Patterns, this book that I got on eBay. Oh, and the other plan you start is my Black Cat birthday sale, which I showed you guys last week that I'm doing on the bag. But it's kind of, I'm not going to pull that out right now. But anyway, so this lion, the interesting things I think I'm doing with it is I'm doing it on perforated paper, and I'm doing it on a gold foil perforated paper. And I am doing it with sulkies. And because it's 14 count perforated paper, everybody says that the sulkies are like 1.5 times like a DMC. So I figured that would work with the perforated paper, because oftentimes with the mill hook kits, they'll tell you use 3 strands. So I figured if I use 2 strands of sulky, then it would still work on the perforated paper. So what I decided to do, I mean, I have black and white and brown, which will be incorporated, but for the main, there's like 5 main colors, M-A-N-E colors, and oops. Again, I decided to use sulkies, and I decided to use the sulky blendables, even though I'm like doubling them to do a loop start, so they're more tweeted. I thought that would be kind of cool. Oops. I like more like that. So those are the colors that I'm using for my lion. So we'll see. I mean, I think it will be cool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it won't show up good on the gold, but it's not going to be that big anyway. So I started with the light yellow. But I feel like I have a lot of sulky and I like it, and I'm not using it enough. So I thought it was a good opportunity to use it. Okay, and then the next follow-up that I'm doing is a follow-up to, if you guys can see it right, no, there, is coal. So, and actually, I have an extra coal, so eventually he will be given away. But this was coal that I did, and I finished it last year. Well, coal has 3 friends. And so I figured this was a good time to start the next one. So the one that I'm going to be working on is Ashes. And what I realized, so all 4 of these patterns, they have the same color flosses. The green ones have some oranges that are not in the orange ones, and the orange ones have some greens that are not in the green ones. And the corner pieces, they all have the same corner pieces, but they have different patterns of beads in them, which I didn't realize until I looked like way closer. What am I stuck on here? All right, so I just got a little bit of a start on this. A little bit. This green, I feel like, doesn't look in real life the same. Well, I don't know. This looks more limey to me than it. This is more yellowy, but I mean, it's still pretty, and it's going to be really great to have all 4 done eventually. I mean, obviously, it's going to take a couple years because I'm only going to start one a year, if I do that at all. But anyway, so Ashes is the current one. And I was able to basically, I just kept the floss on here that I used for coal. And for the most part, even the symbols were the same. Like this symbol was slightly different for this color. I don't know why. And then these 3 colors are new to the green, because the orange ones use like the purple and the green, and then the green ones use the magenta and orange as the accent colors in the corners. So I don't know, I mean, I don't know when I get to the other 2 if that will be exactly true, but and of course I will finish it the same way on the pre-done canvas, stretched over it with the black upholstery tacks, because I think it looks cool. Okay, ashes, lion. Okay, and then this is the piece that I'm really excited about, and this has nothing to do with the, you know, follow-ups or anything like that. I'm starting this piece in honor of Julie, Stitching the Cabin, her mom, who is Thursday had her first round of chemo. Come on, Dad. She had her first round of chemo, and you know, Julie in her videos, you know, was asking people to, you know, crochet or stitch or whatever in honor, you know, in solidarity. And so I thought, yes, of course I'll do that. But the project that came to mind was Phoenix Queen. And the description of Phoenix Queen from the designer says, she's ready to conquer the universe, standing regal and proud, engulfed in flames, rising from the ashes, strong, transformed, renewed. The Phoenix Queen spreading her scorching wings brightly as ever, beaming with pride and confidence, soaring. Which to me is the perfect sentiment for healing, for just rising above adversity, be it health, be it mental health, whatever. So what I decided is this, you know, is started in honor of Julie's mom. I don't even know Julie's mom's name. She's just Julie's mom. But it's also for anybody that needs that. So for me, this is my Misha Berach piece, which I know I mentioned last week. And then of course I had to go look it up, because I've told you guys this before. I am not super observant. I'm very culturally, ethnically, spiritually Jewish. I'm not super observant. So I know stuff, but I don't know stuff. So I have to look stuff up like everybody else. So the Misha Berach is a prayer. It's done every time, I think that, anytime the Torah is read, they do the Misha Berach, which is a prayer for healing. And most temples now use sort of a tune that is by Debbie Friedman, who is a very well-known sort of, what do you call it, liturgical composer or singer. So she kind of took this prayer, this Hebrew prayer, and she made a song out of it using partly words of the prayer and partly English. And this is what we say, or sing, the congregation sings for healing. And I printed it out because basically for me, when I'm stitching on this, I'm thinking about the whole Misha Berach and, you know, healing for everybody. And the thing that I love about this, and I'm not going to try and sing it for you guys. I sang the prayers at Hanukkah in my Flashnica video, and that was really hard for me, and everybody said that I sounded really good, but I don't know if I can do it with the Misha Berach. But I'm just going to read the words to you guys, so you can know what this piece kind of means to me. So it says, Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor Habarach Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor Habaracha Lavotenu. Bless those in needs of healing with Refuah Shlima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. So that is the prayer that is like basically going through my head when I'm stitching on this. That I just love that part, that the renewal of body and the renewal of spirit. So that's what this is for. It's for Julie's mom, and it's for anybody that needs healing. This is my meetup piece. And when I get this finished, which, you know, it's a Bella Filipina, so it will be quite a while. But when I get this finished, I'm going to find another piece that really speaks to me along those lines. And I'm going to do another meetup piece because I kind of think it's something that I should always have. So, yeah. Okay, so that's everything that I started and the things that I planned on starting. So I think that's it as far as projects. But we're not done. First, I have some Stitchy Kindness to show you from Kelly. Kelly is Pages and Stitches. I love her. In fact, it's so funny when we get to the end of the month. It's the 30th, right? So that means that she's going to come out with her video soon, because she always does her video either like the very end of the month, the very beginning of the next month as a recap. And I look forward to it every month. And she does 2 videos, actually. She does one regular FlossTube, and then she does a quilting video. I do not quilt at all. I love watching her videos, though. And I really appreciate her quilting and her talent. She does amazing work. And I feel like she's kind of in her quilting the way I am with my stitching, because I don't think she ever really does exactly what the pattern says. Like, she follows the pattern, but she always uses her own fabrics and her own color palette and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I do with stitching, right? For a lot of things, I use the pattern and what the designer has said as a jumping off point for me to pick my own flosses and my own fabric and stuff. So she does that with quilting. Anyway, so she had instant messaged me and said she had a gifty for me, and she sent it, and I had no idea what it was. And I opened it, and it's like, oh my God, it's these 2 amigurumi books. So it's this one, Mini Amigurumi Animals. So cute. They're all just really adorable. I mean, I don't have to show you because you can see them on the cover. I love the little elephant. I mean, they're all, look at the little koala bear. A lot of them have the same body too. So it'll say, use the body from the rabbit. But they're all really cute. And then this one, Kawaii Crochet. And this is all like divided up by colors, but it's got some like super cute, look at this. Like, I totally want to crochet a corn dog. I mean, because who doesn't need a crocheted corn dog? Everybody needs one. But it's divided by color. And then I love this one too, the peas in the pod. And of course the peas come out. So I love that one. Here's a whole cart. Corn dog, a pretzel, fortune cookie, drink. You could do a mustard. You could even do a ketchup if you want to do it in red. Popcorn. They have 2 cereal bowls that are really cute too. They have one that's just Cheerios, but the one that is really cute is the Fruit Loops. Look at that. Fruit Loops. Full of Fruit Loops. 2 crochet. Let me see if I can find. Look at that. So yeah, so she sent me these books just out of the blue, which was, I mean, amazingly kind of her. And now of course I need to crochet her something. I told her, you know, I go, don't expect it like right away, but you're gonna get something. Now this is interesting. The corn dog, which I showed you, is the same as that, right? Watermelon popsicle. So it's the same technique, but you can turn it into a corn dog or a watermelon popsicle. And then there's like ice cream cones. You know, and of course they label one a blueberry ice cream cone or a chocolate ice cream cone or whatever, but it's the same ice cream cone. You just change the colors. But yeah, so cute. So cute. So thank you so much, Kelly. It was so nice of you to think of me in this way. And I love it. Sparks all kinds of like creativity, imagination, etc., etc. Okay, then the other thing that I have to show you guys is I went on to Kohl's because I had to get some pajamas because it's so hot and I needed some shorts. And I found some really cute pajama bottoms that were on sale. I only ever buy anything on sale. Sometimes I feel like, you know, if I ever won the lottery and was wealthy, that's one of the things is I want to go shopping and not look at the tag. But I found some pajama shorts and they were all super, super cute. They didn't have tops with them. So I was trying to find like tank tops or like camisoles because I don't like sleeves when I'm sleeping. I just like spaghetti straps or tank tops or something. And the pajama bottoms that I found didn't have matching. So I was trying to find matching tops. And I'm so like crazy in that way. Like it has to match. So last night I was like, I pulled out, after I took my shower, I pulled out some of my new pajama shorts, and then I was trying to find the correct color camisole top to wear with it, and I pulled out one and it just wasn't the right color, and then I pulled out another one and it was like, okay, this one kind of matches, but I'm like, it'll match better with the other pair of shorts. So I had to change, I hadn't put them on yet, but I had to change the shorts I was gonna wear because they had to match, and nobody sees me. Baggy doesn't care what I'm wearing, right? They have to match. But anyway, so I was on Kohl's, and when I'm on a site like that, I always look in decor and clearance, and so I got some decor pieces, which for me, I got them because they're stitching finishing pieces, and they were all like super clearance, like closeout, mostly under $5. So so I got these things and I thought I'd show them to you. Some of them you might be able to go on and still get them on the Kohl's website. Some of them you wouldn't because they were closeouts and they're probably gone already. But you know, it's like when they're having a clearance closeout and then plus you get the extra like 40% off or whatever. I mean, they ended up being really inexpensive. So, okay, I got two things, which I don't even know if these are really finishing pieces. I got them just because I kind of like the idea of having plants and cannot have plants because I kill them. I mean, I can't, you know, I can't forget to feed Baggy because he'll tell me, but plants don't remind me to water them. But anyway, I got these. They could possibly end up being finishing pieces, but I got this little plant. So this was like $19 originally, and I think I got it for like under $5. So that's how much of a sale it was. I'll cut that off. But all right, well, it's not coming out. But anyway, so this little, what are these called? Something tears. Succulents, which I got something very similar over here that I have in my finishing piece that I have my Mill Hill on. So that's why it could possibly end up being some kind of a finishing something, but if not, I just thought it would be cool to have something that looks like I have plants, even if they're not real. And then this is the same thing. Plant-wise, I just wanted to get something that looked like a plant, whether it ends up being a finishing piece or not. Okay, but the other ones are definitely I got for finishing. So when I look at these kinds of things, I don't care like what they say, because the saying part is definitely going to be covered. So I'm just looking at the piece itself. So this is like this little easel, and you know, this would be very easy to just cut a cross stitch piece and put it in there. And so I like that one. This one is a little animal thing. Best friends come into our lives and leave paw prints on our hearts, which is very cute, but I will cover that. Again, just a little cross stitch, a little round cross stitch would fit in there really good. I was in, I guess, the fake plant mode. So this one, it says, friends of the charming gardeners that make our souls blossom. But again, I thought next year my my Be My Own Valentine piece, depending on what I pick, if it's small, it could maybe go in there and that would look really cute. And then this is sort of a ceramic piece. it says bloom and grow in here, but again, I feel like this area would work really well for cross stitch. In fact, I was thinking that this would actually even work for, except it's not big enough, but like for the black pearl, but it's not long enough. So I don't know what, you know, I don't have any specific plans for these pieces. But as I said, they were all very inexpensive. And so I like having things that I could possibly use. I sometimes I go to Dollar Tree and I'll get like little frames and stuff like that. And yeah. What did you do? Says I didn't do anything. Okay. Anyway, so that I think is it. I think that's everything that I got. Yeah. And so now I'll just put them away, put them in a drawer or something, and next time I have a finish that I actually want to do something with, then I'll go there and see if anything works. I actually should look through my my bag of finished pieces now and see if there's anything that would work with any of these pieces. But I think that is it. Yes. So I hope you guys have a really great week going forward. You know, thank you for being part of my life, for listening to me ramble on, for sharing with you sometimes my struggles, and being empathetic. That is really very special that you guys do that for me. Don't forget about the Zoom coming up in a couple weeks. I would love to see you there. And I think that that's it. So let's hope that the weather, it's hot today and completely overcast. So it's muggy, and yeah, and it's going to be, I think it's supposed to go down to the high 80s for like a couple days and be all muggy and stuff. And then it's going to go right back up to 95. So I'm just waiting, you know, it's going to be what, 8 weeks more than that before it cools off. But hopefully we'll get a cold snap or something come through. But anyway, until I see you guys again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye, everybody.